Okay, first of all, let's start off with a sorry, because insanity mode has kicked in by now. So many things during this demonstration got triggered in the background by me by accident, went wrong, and I started to get a little bit loco in the head. But no, actually, I won't guarantee not to break out in laughter. I will be maybe a little bit more silly. But don't worry, you will get all the serious information here after all once I calm down a little bit about the Asus ZenPad 3S10. Let's actually start off with one story. Donnie, and this is absolutely true story, not fake news. Donnie went to Asus. I'm talking about Donald Trump because obviously I call him Donnie. And he said, Asus, listen, you need to make Android tablets great again. Asus said, listen, Donnie, because of course they call him Donnie too. Mind your own business. But after putting a little bit more thought into it, they said, you're right. There aren't any high-end big Android tablets anymore on the market. We should change this. And I should try to be happy. I'm funny. Okay, let's start off with design and build quality. And I will turn on the device just by putting it here with the power button on the iPad Air 2 when I try to compare it. And I will trigger so much stuff and I'm pretty sure things will go sideways. But let's get through it after all. As you can see here, in terms of width, actually smaller. In terms of length, pretty much the same. It is a little bit thicker and with 4 grams a little bit heavier. But the design, after all, I have to say, really nice done. It feels super nice, solid, premium, doesn't creak. Maybe not quite as substantial as the iPad Air 2, but still. It also looks beautiful with the beveled edges. And if my camera has a little bit trouble, this is because of the big glossy display. But what I really like are the buttons here, because great and conveniently placed. Great premium, clicky feedback. Other than that, we have the camera. We have the microphone here, we have the headphone jack, and yes, I will turn it on all the time. We have the SD card tray. On the bottom we have USB Type-C, the 2 speakers, and let's turn on the screen so I can show off the fingerprint reader. And that one works absolutely okay. Absolutely no problems. Since I triggered so much stuff already, it didn't work. So as you can see here, it works. It's usually absolutely reliable, not the biggest fan of it after all, because you have to push it and wait a little bit. But it works out absolutely problem-free. This is just during the demonstration. Believe me, it works. I turned it off because I don't find it to be so convenient on a tablet after all. Capacitive buttons I'm not the biggest fan of, because if you use it in landscape mode, where do you want to hold on to? So I would have definitely wished to see on-screen buttons, especially since we had that on the ZenPad 3 8-inch or so. This is a little bit something you have to get used to. Keep that in mind. But other than that, as I said, design and build really, really great. Compact, lightweight, great quality. Now, let's talk about the speaker here. And I made it through. No, I didn't want to talk about the speaker. I wanted to talk about the display. Oh, man. Okay. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Okay, display. Screen color mode. You have the customized mode that you maybe should use if you want to kind of get it to your personal preference, because balance actually looks okay. Vivid mode, forget that. Way too extreme, way too heavy. So let's get into balance mode, and you have the color to temperature control. Color to temperature control. Display. Very high resolution and a really high quality display. Viewing angle is usually absolutely stable. It's also very bright. The white point set really nice. Of course, you can adjust that. And the blacks are super great. The colors are one thing that I'm not 100% sure, because usually they look quite natural and quite okay. But especially if you go into videos, then everything looks way too brightened up, like the gamma is a little bit wrong. Everything seems a little bit out of place. Colors don't seem so correct. In normal use, you won't notice, and the colors there, if you just go into the browser and similar things, look absolutely fine. So as long as you don't need an accurate display for videos, you will get super pleased by this. So overall, a very good display, if not even more. It's just the calibration that is a little bit off. Now, it's time for the speaker though. It may just fire towards the side or towards the bottom, no matter, depends on how you hold it. But one thing that I really like about this speaker, first of all, maximum volume is noticeably higher than on my iPad Air 2, which I always found to be very loud. This one even better. And the sound is also very full, rich and warm. And we have the audio wizard, which I will get into later in the software part, so you can adjust it even there. Overall, great balance, great nice bass, great sound, because it doesn't feel like it's just coming from one side. It's quite a surrounding effect. Really like the speakers. I would actually say one of the very best ones on tablets in general, and even beats many laptops these days. Headphone jack is actually above average. I would call it good because I was mostly satisfied with it. Quite nice to see. So let's talk about the performance. Get into it. Kill a few apps, and if you see some weird patterns on the display, this is due to my camera has a little bit trouble with such a big display. Okay, as you can see here, apps launch absolutely moderately fine, absolutely nice. It's a very responsive, fast device. As you can see here, I can usually, if for some reason they would work, my gestures work without any problems, and this is it. Now let's talk about the one thing where I'm super impressed, because I did not know what to expect from this MediaTek SoC at all. So that's why I want to go into... Okay. Oh, I'm actually holding the display. As you can see here, super smooth. Super crazy buttery smooth. This is Android tablet as its best. Super nice, super responsive, super fast. As you can see here, I would say this is the best Android tablet that I've used in terms of performance. I can't say anything else. Responsive, fast, pretty much no lag at all. Not even if you use the free column view in Google+, it completely fails. Considering how much resources this takes up, this is actually behaving impressive. And we have 4 GB of RAM, so you can quite quickly jump through the apps. And yes, like I said, I will trigger it throughout all the time, because at some point I touched something by accident. But as you can see, I'm just gonna leave this here. I'm highly impressed by the performance. I did not expect it nearly to run as good. And the gaming performance is even better, because I would say, period, this is the best gaming performance that I've seen on an Android tablet or Android device in general, because super high frame rates. You can play all games at the highest refresh rates without any problems at all, and without any slowdowns. The device just got moderately warm, no problems here at all. My Bluetooth controller worked well, and this makes it an amazing kind of portable gaming console, of course, if you are used to the Android games. Really great. Of course, due to the big display, not always using the high resolution on its own, it does look a little bit pixelated, but believe me, gaming experience is absolutely top-notch. Now let's talk about the battery. Full charge takes about 3 hours and 15. Sounds long, but we have a big battery, and tablets don't usually charge as fast as a laptop or something like that, so this is actually still quite good. 12% for 1 hour of YouTube is not that great, and the same already goes for my battery estimates. As you can see, I would expect about 6 hours, maybe a little bit more over the course of 1 day, 5.5 over the course of 2 days, and I wouldn't really consider this to be a 3-day device anymore. And that's why I would say battery life, I would say, is maybe like decent, okay, definitely not great or something like that. And this is actually kind of its biggest weakness. Still good, but this is where I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. Okay, let's talk about the software here, and not even sure how to hold it properly. Let's get into it, and just for demonstration's sake, let's get into the Zen UI launcher, because I used Nova. I said it already on my ZenPad review that this is pretty much the most customizable launcher if you want that out of the box, because we have themes, you have icon packs, you have a lot of adjustments like extra gestures. You can go into the system settings here, and here we'll see that even though we have themes, this will not be themed, and I'm actually using stock just to show off this. A waste of space in my opinion, and it doesn't look pretty. But at least it's functional, and you can make it a little bit nicer in terms of design if you use a different theme, but just keep that in mind. This is, I don't know, still looks childish, but the functionality is absolutely there. You don't get a ton of extra options. You can change the button here, you have the glove mode, quick settings options, you have the launch genie for games. We have a stylus option actually. I asked Asus for the stylus, but I didn't get it in time, so I can't really say how good that one is, but you don't really get many tablets with a stylus these days, so this is definitely a big plus. Of course, we have Zen Motion and a few more options that I don't really want to go into it, because the software is solid, maybe not beautiful, but it gets the job done without any problems, and that is actually what counts in the end. So let's already get to the pros and cons. It is light and compact, absolutely. Premium build, absolutely. Very good display. Like I said, only the calibration seems a little bit off, especially in videos. You won't really notice this outside of that. Great speakers, even though just firing to the side. Wow, great sound. Great performance, and especially for games, overall super satisfying, super pleasing at all times. Just as I said, the decent battery life could have been even better, but I will get to that a little bit later. Decent software, and the value is great, because I just checked Amazon before this review. $300. I almost don't get why it's that cheap, because it's 350 here for the 64GB version with 4GB of RAM. This is an amazing value, I have to say that. Let's go to the negative stuff. Capacitive buttons, something, as you will see, you will turn it on all the time, with the home button especially. A little bit annoying. In normal use, not so much. This is mostly due to the really weird behavior in this demonstration here. I should maybe just put it away. Okay, then display calibration, as I said, not perfect. Battery life could still be better. This is one thing as a weakness. Not so much of a problem for me, because I have my charger very close to where I use it anyways. But if you want great battery life, not something you will get here. And the next thing is the UI design. And the two things in brackets are because they are not really crucial. So let's get to the point. Is it recommendable? Absolutely. If you are looking for a great, especially in terms of value, tablet that offers killer performance, the best that I've seen on a big Android tablet so far. I think it even beats the Pixel, or is super pretty much on par with it. The display maybe not quite so much. Speakers are even better. Build quality is great. I like personally the 4:3 aspect ratio a lot. And the whole rest in terms of design is still absolutely acceptable. But for a price of $300, this is amazing. This is great value. I can't really say anything else. I'm actually surprised, because I expected it to be like $400 in the US with about 350 here. So, like I said, display just for videos, not accurate, but still pleasing. And the battery life, that is just decent. Not a whole lot of cons. And I've actually calmed down by now. But yeah. Okay, this was my a little bit weird review, sorry. But I think you still got information, and if not, just leave it in the comments down below. But I get that you or I... No, let's just stop it here. Okay, until next time, bye.